Hi, welcome to hanging out on Monday nights. We're going to do Monday night tips for you. I want to ask the room, what have you done with your mobile system that has made your life easier? That's the question tonight. So you're going to walk away with at least 5 tips, because everybody's going to give something different, I'm sure, because everybody's done something to help make their life easier with their mobile system. Maybe it's something a lot of people do. Maybe it's something that they have done and you never thought of. So who would like to give the first tip of the night?
Jay raised his hand.
I was doing that. I don't care. I'm glad to go first.
Yeah, you've got all kinds of neat, cool...
You know what? The first tip I would give anyone that's a mobile DJ, and I know people will argue against this and say, no, my method's better. I will just tell you, my investment of X amount of money probably 16 years ago in a rock and roll cart.
Yes.
Was one of the smartest moves I ever made. I moved a refrigerator across a street on my rock and roll cart once, a couch.
Sure.
And gear-wise, I have an R10. And the only smart thing I haven't done is upgrade the front wheels to the wider. Because if you get to sand or grass, the little tiny wheels are a death sentence.
How long have you had your car? 15 years?
Oh, at least 15 or 16 years. At least.
Nice.
Yeah, I've had it a long, long time.
It's been on hundreds of times.
Oh, it's not let me down once.
Nice.
Same cart, haven't put a dime into it, paid under $200 for it.
You know, I was at, I think I was flying back from Europe, and I had a delay in Detroit at the Delta International Terminal.
Yep.
And I noticed rock and roller carts all lined up, like at every, when you board the plane there, at every terminal. Yeah. For luggage, I guess. They were using rock and roller carts. Yeah.
Smart move.
Yeah.
They're really dependable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really, really dependable. That's at the top of my list. I think a lot of it comes down to the consistency of what you find works.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, and I've used you as a bit of an example of minimizing, because you kind of realize one day, do I need to carry all these things?
Right. How can I it's hot rodding. How can I lighten the load? That's it. Make it faster,
Yeah. I went over to our favorite store, Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
And I invested in a hard shell briefcase. And that's where I carry my wireless microphones in a foam. Pulled the foam out so that everything fits in and stays safe.
Yeah.
I've got to actually replace the one I have. And then got some new bags and just said, this is a bag for this cables and this cables and this cables. And just really desperately tried to make it easy. I also have some Headliner and Pioneer. Different manufacturers make these bags that you can put controllers in.
Yeah.
And I found that if you put a small controller in a bigger bag, you can actually add cables to that. So I'll have like a ceremony system will be in a softer bag. So I already know the mics are in there, the cables are in there. And it just makes it easier. One of the smartest things I think I've ever done was at the end of the night, instead of doing my usual, I've got to get before last call, just throw everything in a bag and get out.
Yeah.
I actually took new bags labeled 1 and 2 and took everything from the system into bag 1, zipped it. So therefore, every time I do a gig, if I pick up bag 1 has the exact cables.
Everything you need in it.
For the right speakers, for the right power supplies, for the right everything.
Yeah.
And, I haven't invested in rack mounts like a lot of people. I think Buddy will probably mention rack mounts, which I think is a smart play. I haven't gotten a Furman yet. I probably never will.
No, I probably won't either.
But, I've just kind of found, like I think I was telling you guys off air, I hurt my back last week. And I had a gig Saturday, and it was one of those, I could get away with this, but is that going to be enough? So I had to really kind of try to work smart.
Yeah.
And, you don't always need to bring a 250 capacity wedding sound system. I was supposed to have 40. I had 15 people.
Yeah.
I didn't need to hit them with,
Yeah.
4,000 watts of sound. So, you got to think ahead, like, what's going to work for me? Then next smart investment, I worked with John back in Boston in February, and I cannot get this stand he has out of my head. And I'm seeing it.
Wait a minute. Let somebody else have a chance.
Yeah, okay.
You're going to go through every cool thing.
I've given at least 5, so yeah.
Should I do my stand?
Yeah, do yours before he
that'll tie in
says
directly to his.
Yes.
All right, so
That's a segue. We call that in the business.
It is. It's a handoff. As he's passing the torch, and I can take it.
John understands the assignment. He's going to give 8 tips.
I'm going to get. Well, that's not the tip I had, but I'll get a rerouted tip now.
That's okay. Yeah.
On his rock and roll cart, if you're tired of picking up mic stands and tripods off the floor, get some bungee cords with little black hooks on the ends, because it's the last thing you put on the cart. And as soon as you take a left turn, right turn, that's what rolls off.
Off they go. Yeah.
100%.
I got one that's, I swear by, probably 2.5 feet long. Go around a few times. Anything that's long and breakable,
Right.
Wrap all those together. Either clip it to itself, clip it to it, and that's the last thing that goes on the top. It keeps them.
That's a great tip.
It's just something stupid, and so I always just wrap it around the arm of the cart. As we've got the
Great tip.
carts too. We've got like the brand name carts and some knockoff carts. But every gig I do, I always make sure I got a handful of bungees, because it's just
for the cart, just for the cart,
just for the cart, just for the end.
That's a great tip.
So
I have that problem all the time. Whenever I'm doing like a ceremony, I've got
they make these upright bags that you can put on some of them, but I imagine it's brand specific. So like a Rockville's not going to fit a rock and roller, and it's all going to be slightly different. So once you get the right bag set up for the cart, because then you put them in vertically, they stand up like the handle, and they sit that way. I've seen those too, but that's just one more piece that's on your cart now, and more crap to lug. Just get a couple of Should we? Is it by Harbor Freight tonight? Yeah, you get some Harbor Freight.
Sponsored by Harbor Freight, I guess. And DJ Event Planner.
Yeah. So there you go. So the booth that Jay's talking about, it's just a 4-panel Rockville pop-out. The single tray sits at about 39 inches. You can put a controller. If it's in a thin case, you can get away with having a case with a slide lid on it. So it opens, like a 4. So you get the 2 side walls and the 2 back. You just open it up, you drop the tray in, it just locks in 4 places. And it's super neat, super clean, super light. It is big, but it's still better than lugging a folding table, and now you need a topper, and now you need a tablecloth, and it's just clean, it's neat, it's black. And the bottom section of the Rockville one isn't mesh. It's like a felt. It's kind of like Velcro fabric. It's like a stretchy
It's like Lycra, or like a scrim.
Yeah,
like black scrim.
So it makes it a whole lot lighter than some of the ones that are all metal. If you travel alone and you don't have to, you just throw it over your shoulder, and it'll clear the ground when you walk with it. It's probably 3.5, 4 feet by maybe 2.5, 3 feet, but it's definitely a time saver. And also it's a smaller footprint than a 6-foot table, because sometimes they stick you places, and like if you didn't bring the 4-foot table, you're not going to fit in the corner you just set up. So this is a very small footprint, very quick up and down. Yeah. And Jay saw it, and it's clean and looking, so it's fast.
It's one of those things that I genuinely had seen and been like, I don't know about that. And then I show up at the gig, and there it is. And I'm like, oh. And I found as the night went on, I'm like, okay, this is, because I'm over 6 feet, not much, but enough that a lot of those carts and counters are just a little too short.
Right.
But I found that one to work really well, and just thought, geez, I could put my empty bags underneath this. No one's going to see them.
Right, gives you a little hiding space too.
It gives you hiding space. It's a good look. Everything's black, so the black cables coming out of it on the bottom, they're going to mess. You can put your speakers on either side and call it a day.
So Eric says that Buddy's tip is get a roadie, and her name is Tracy. I'm sure you have a better tip than that, Buddy.
I'm sorry, my dog was yelling, so I didn't want to.
It's okay. That's okay.
Possible.
That's okay.
No, Tracy's my boss. She is the coordinator.
I know that.
She does help out. She does help.
We know that.
She helps out a lot, but she's my boss as well. So, but I would probably say the 2 things that really have helped us out, including, again, I do have a couple employees. Like this past weekend, we had an employee. Is 2 things. One, having good quality totes or plastic bins. The ones we got are actually from Home Depot. They have a clear top, so you can look into the bin and see.
Okay.
We also put P-Touch on the side to tell what it is. Like, okay, this bin is for this set of speakers, or this is for this.
Yeah.
The other thing also, I would probably say that is really helped a lot is having multiple colors of gaffer tape. It sounds funny, but having all the different colors, it really helps hide those cables, especially on colored floors, because you have more than one color brown out there, and there's more than just black.
How many colors of brown gaffer tape do you carry?
3.
You have 3 different browns.
3 different browns.
Like $40 a roll.
Hey, man. Browns, 3 inches wide.
Big bucks. That's awesome.
You know, it's one of the, it sounds funny. It sounds funny having 3 different colors of brown, but I could pull a couple pictures up, and you guys can look at it. The cables kind of blend in there into the floor a little bit, and you don't notice it as much. Again, you're not going to hide it 100%. It's not, you go put gaffer tape on, it can magically disappear the cables. But the more you can draw eyes away from that and have a nice clean look, I think it really cleans up your whole entire feel. Plus, also, it lessens likely to have a tripping hazard. You don't want people tripping on your cables. But look, for those 2 things right there, the bins, especially with a clear top, you can look in there and say, oh, yeah, hey, this is in there or that's in there. And also having multiple colors of gaffer tape. It sounds funny, again, but it really does help a lot because it makes your life so easy. Because you look at the floor, you walk in, this is a gray floor. Okay, we have gray or black gaffer tape, which is going to match closer. Okay, gray is going to work better here. Boom, gray is down on the ground. It's a funny thing, but it helps tremendously.
Right on. Tom, do you got any tips that you feel like make your life easier as a DJ?
Yes,
Something you
I do.
What do you got?
I've got the Evert 8.
Evert's 8.
Yes, I think it's a great tool for some events that we're doing on July and next month and everything. Because the nice thing is these are battery powered. I don't have to run too many, just a signal to it, and I put it on a pole and for a wedding ceremony, and all the goodies in the back here, and
yeah, they're super lightweight. They're very handy.
Lightweight, a lot much easier. My fiance is now my extra roadie and everything, so she helps. She can lift these things, and it's nice and everything. So
yeah. And you have 1 or 2 of those?
I have 8 of them.
You have 8 Evert's 8s?
Yes.
Wow.
I got a good deal on them, so I can't complain.
So how many do you run per event?
Sometimes we'll run maybe for the parade we'll run 6.
Wow.
On the parade route, because we'll put 4 at the grandstand, because we'll have 1 going one way, 1 go the other. Then we'll have 2 going this way. Then we'll have another set down the street and everything on another set of cable and everything.
Wow.
Down the other way.
So lightweight, battery powered, self powered.
Then when we're done, we just take them back, and if there's any juice left over, we'll use them in the park and everything for the fall stuff.
So you can have 1 talk to 1, right?
Yeah, you can.
I think
only 1 will go to 1.
Yeah,
I think it's only when you're using the Bluetooth function.
Right.
So if you hardwire 1, you can't transmit to the next one? That's like where the Wave 8 really is kind of insane.
Right.
We're setting up 9 of them in August. We'll have 0 cables for that event.
Yeah. No, that's a great piece.
They just go to each other. It's
got the transmitter for those. That's nice. And it just goes to,
Yeah.
That's
I thought the Wave 8's, the Evert's 8, because I've seen them. I think they sound and look great. But I thought they spoke to each other. Like you could get 1-to-1, 1-to-1, 1. You can't do it in line. But I, for some reason, thought if I hook 1 up and I have a second one, that one can transmit from the first one by Bluetooth. They can't go to a third or a fourth. So you have to run an audio line to each one of the ones you're running.
Right.
Okay.
No, luckily we're lucky. We have a wire stuck away for any occasion. So Everything.
And it's always nice to go hardwired because you know you're not going to get interference that way.
And signal is
where
easy.
you are.
Signal is easy, so you just can't pull power from out of the sky. That's the thing, is having the battery.
Yeah.
Not in my
thing.
case. If I get lucky, the audio board will have power from the city or whatever. But after that, the rest of it is all battery powered. So
City events never give you enough juice.
I think you guys have great tips. I'm going to give one that's probably not as great as your tips, but it's something that no one has talked about. And it's something that I've done since I started my own mobile DJ company. And it sounds weird, but it's kind of like the goldfish bowl effect with my vehicle. I pick a vehicle and I don't buy any equipment that doesn't fit in that vehicle. So whether it be a car or a truck or an SUV, I allocate a certain amount of room in the vehicle for my equipment. And I got rules. I need to have passengers. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Yeah, passengers. Sorry about that. And I need to see out my back window. So if there is a big giant system that doesn't fit in the vehicle, I'm not going to run that big giant system. I'm only going to run something that fits in the vehicle. I know people who bought big cargo vans, they get big trailers, they do all this stuff, and that's great if that's what you want to do. But for me, trying to streamline things and make them easy, I only build what will fit in the vehicle. And it sounds weird, but it really does make my life easy. I don't get too big that way because I know what type of events that I'm typically doing. I don't need a big giant system for the types of events I'm typically doing. So yeah, think about the size of your vehicle and think about what fits in it and what you need to get out of that vehicle as far as passenger room and visibility and all that kind of stuff, and buy accordingly.
I spent 7 years doing events in a 1996 Sebring convertible.
Yeah?
2 speakers in the back seat, coffin, 2 speaker poles, lights and CDs and bags in the trunk,
Yeah.
card up front, bag on the front seat, shirt hanging on the bag. You can make any vehicle work.
My
You
first
don't
vehicle-
have to have a van.
My first
It's
easy
fun,
vehicle was a 78 Cutlass Brougham, and we're talking about a 2-door. Speakers were in the back seat, rack was in the passenger seat,
Yeah.
cables and lights and everything else went into the trunk.
Oh,
Yeah.
I used the Jeep Grand Cherokee and it broke down, and I did a gig this past December in a V50 Volvo, which is like a Ford Focus 4-door station wagon.
Yeah.
A 15-inch sub, 2 10-inch tops, an XC, lights on a gig
Yeah.
bar. You can make it work, but
Oh, sure.
Even if
right.
you should always have a backup vehicle.
Right now, I've got I do at that, but I mean, I typically use my Suburban and I just flip the back seat up. I don't remove it. That's my cargo area.
Yeah.
And I can fit all kinds of stuff into that cargo area.
Oh,
I
big
put
time.
2 15-inch subs, 2 12-inch tops, full light show, table, all the cables I need, all the whatever I need, and I've still got room for 4. My computers I put in the back seat. I can put it between the back seats. I can still seat 4 passengers if need be. How often do we bring 4 people to events? Never. But
Never, not once.
you know why? You know why I want 4 seats? You know why?
why?
If I'm at an event and there's a group there that's had too many cocktails and I'm concerned about somebody driving home, I can bring people home and get them home safe. I never do it. Well, I've done it a couple times. But I always want that option, just in case somebody's too wasted. Hey, if I got a couple of seats, people can just get in my vehicle. I can run them home safely. They can get an Uber to get their car in the morning. That's why I want the passenger space.
That's awesome, man. Where did these young Puerto Rican girls live?
I was thinking it's a Halloween party, and it's like, oh look, Charlie's Angels. I give them a ride home. All 3 of them. 1, 2, 3.
All three angels.
I actually had. Now again, I have a van, but we're lucky the venue was only a couple blocks away from our house. We actually had a couple, just going back a few years ago, that the shuttle didn't come back for them. So it was the bride, the groom, and like 3 people. So we went home. I grabbed my truck, and Tracy grabbed her SUV. We went back and grabbed them and took them to the hotel. So having that as a backup plan is not a bad thing, because life gets in the way. And again, they were trying to get a whole Uber, and Uber was 20 minutes away. We're like, 2 minutes away. We'll go home, grab our vehicles. We'll come over here.
Yeah.
Came over. They had some stuff loaded up in the back of Tracy's vehicle, loaded up in my truck, took it there. They were happy as all heck. So
I mean, it certainly doesn't happen very often. It's happened a few times. It's been several years. It's probably been 10 years since I've done it. But yeah, if there's and it's usually 2 or 3 people. It's not usually a big group of people, but it's like maybe a couple and their friend that came with them. And it's like, hey, just get in. I'll run you home. I don't care. And
I feel terrible. I'm loading up my stuff, and I'm like burning rubber to get it to the bar for a quick last call. You guys are all being patron saints.
Yeah, weirdos who don't
I'm like
drink.
almost hitting people to get out of the parking lot. You guys are stopping to ask if everything's okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to change my attitude now.
well, now everyone can drive a
Get
little.
out of the way!
Now everyone can drive a little convertible and look cool in California like you can, Jay.
Hey, the only thing better than that, and it's a toss-up, the minivan, my Odyssey minivan was by far the best gigging mobile, because I could sleep in it if I had to.
Yeah.
With gear. But I got to tell you, my 1987 LTD Crown Victoria carried quite a lot of gear. The trunk fit, I think, 6 bodies, and then the back seat pretty much could do most of what all kidding aside, 2 15-inch speakers, and everything else could fit just in the back seat.
So you could do an early gig and then bring some friends to the drive-in.
Yeah. Well, not to go down in the mood, but when I worked at Hornblower, there was a hospice down the road, and when we did weddings in the Abbey, and it's when I had the LTD, at the end of the night, I would say, "What are you guys doing with the flowers?" "Oh, we really can't do anything with them." I said, "If you guys want, there's a hospice on the way to my house. It's right down the road. I'll throw them in the back of my car and donate them for you." So I would, every time I would do a wedding, and it got to the point where I'd ask them before the wedding, like, "Hey, at the end of the night, do you want me to donate your flowers to the hospice down the road? I'll give them your name." People loved the idea. And I would roll down and start putting all these centerpieces on their front desk, and they were thrilled. So, if you do have a little extra room, maybe there's something nice.
Yeah.
Picking up crazy Puerto Rican girls that you could do with it.
Hey, man, don't judge me.
No judgment.
The show, like all our other shows.
I just know who they weren't. I just know who wasn't getting a ride. I'm just saying.
Hi, DJ Event Planner. Check them out, as well as our other sponsors, in the description of this video on YouTube. Thank you so much for your tips tonight, gentlemen.
Before we break, can I give you one more?
Of course, John.
Just a quickie. I'm going to do it with the show and tell, because this just started showing up on my radar, and I just want to see what you guys think about it. And I'm sure you've seen this video. Give me one second.
We gotta wait. We've already done our sign-off, so I can just totally mic drop this at the end. John's got a good tip, though. So let's share. It's cutting into my coffee break, though. All right. I'm back. Okay. I think you'll like this one. This is a quickie. And I had to rip this out of the paint tray, but this is just for show and tell. Have you ever seen a paint roller? Yeah.
Okay, so this is part of the paint tray. So what the masters have been doing is they've been putting their roll of gaff tape. They ring it on this way and put it to here, and then loop the gaff tape along. And what they're doing is they're bringing the mop handle, the 6-foot rest of the rod, and they're using it to put their gaff tape down on top of wires. Have you seen that anyplace? Yeah.
I have seen it. There's actually a thing you can buy that gaff tape goes in.
There's a gaff tape gun.
Gun.
Yeah. If you don't want to spend $900 on a gun, I guess you could find a cheaper way to do it. Just saying,
right. With the
I will tell you, as someone who does have the gaff gun and has used it, the nice thing, it has a canal to take the cabling, get 3 cables, 4 cables, and put it together into one nice tight roll.
Oh, it'll channel them in the V. It'll kind of pull them in tight and keep them flat. So that's another nifty little one.
The only thing that would go with that is that, and I won't say the dealer's name, I'll tell you off air, but there's a dealer that has, to Buddy's point, different colors. It's a Velcro back, and it rolls up like a big roll of gaff tape, but what you do is you roll it out by a door, and then it's got a little lid on it so you can channel cables through it. Then at the end of the night, you open it, pull the cables out, and it rolls back up, and it's reusable. So it's like a Velcro bottom with a plastic cover and it's with channels, so you can put a power and an audio cable through it. It's only about that wide, and it Velcros down to the carpet. The only issue becomes, I'm sure we've all had carpets that have been washed so many times that gaff tape just will not stick.
Yeah.
I've had those where you look behind you and the gaff tape's all lifting in the doorway. It's like, But it's a decent idea. I mean, EDC uses, like, we've all seen those hard yellow and black plastic cable runners that you put through doorways that you could drive over.
Yeah.
It's that sort of concept, but they roll up. It's Velcro.
Those are very industrial. Those big, heavy ones you can run like.
Oh yeah, those. But this Velcro one isn't. This is very like for mobile DJs.
Yeah, if you're going to do a wedding or something like that, something elegant, you don't want something like industrial.
No.
You know what the wedding looks like a construction site, yeah.
Yeah, no. I get that. I'll show you off air. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Big gaff tape tips tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of gaff.
And don't use duct tape.
Or Gorilla Tape, yeah. No.
Well, when I was
no Gorilla Tape, no duct tape, no.
When I was first started doing mobile gigs, every mobile system there was a checklist of the things that you had, and one of the things was rock tape, which was duct tape.
Yeah.
And they said, why don't we call it duct tape? It's just because we're not plumbers. It's rock tape.
Oh, so if you don't call it what it is, it's not what it is.
It's something different. Yeah.
So if I have a $1 bill, but I call it 100,
Yes.
still the one.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Apparently those are the rules. Well, thanks, guys. Cool tips. And have a great rest of your week whenever you happen to be watching this. We'll see.